Okay, so if you're always taking the same approach to layering, then check this out. Okay, so what I've got here is I'm just currently working on the audio sample for my new Arturia JUP 8000V Volume 3 sound demo, basically. And this might be out, depending on when you're watching it, it might not be, but I'll leave some links in the description below to the other ones. But what I wanted to show you here today is I've got this pluck playing. Now, a lot of people, when they go to layer and they go to approach layering, they will duplicate this channel and then they will go and find another pluck. But what I want you to look at today is trying to layer it with a different type of sound. So, for example, in this example, I've had the pluck and I've thought, I want to layer this, give it a bit more atmosphere and a bit more movement. But if I just layer it with another pluck, I'm going to be getting the same similar sorts of envelopes from the sound. So what I want to do now is layer it instead with a pad. So I've done it with this. Play them together. So it's got a nice bit of added texture to this sound. Now, the reason why this is working is because we've got a pluck with a very short, tight envelope, right? Fast attack, short decay. Now, this particular pad hasn't got a super fast attack, but it's got a bit of a slower attack. So therefore, when the pluck hits, the pluck is playing straight away, and then the pad is coming in slowly. So you're kind of getting that first hit of the pluck, then the pad sound is coming in, and they're kind of like working together nicely around each other rather than just constantly hitting at the same time. Now, I'm not saying you can't have plucks that are layered and they work together nicely. I'm just trying to say you don't always have to have intro pluck MIDI with pluck preset. You can have pluck preset with the pluck intro pluck, and then when you layer it, try it with a completely different sound. It could be an effect, it could be an acid sound, it could be a pad like in this example, it could be a bass sound. So try to look at layering in a different way, and because of the different envelope shapes, they're going to somewhat either, I mean, it's not saying it's always going to work. In this particular example, it does. And for example, you might have a pad where the attack is so slow, you're barely even hearing the attack from it, and it might not work. But give it a try. Try layering with a different preset name, so to speak, if that's what we want to call it. Because as I say, it's only an envelope shape that's determining really what sort of sound it is in a certain way. So yeah, it's, you know, because I could basically turn this pad into a pluck by changing the envelope shapes a bit. So yeah, give it a try. It's a technique that I like to use if I, for example, have a sound and I want to give it a little bit more sort of atmosphere or movement around it. Because especially with something like a pad, if you've got a lot of modulation happening, you know, filtering in and out, as there is in this one, you'll get that sort of slightly different bar every time it's playing if the intro pluck's quite basic and static like this one. So yeah, give it a try. As I say, let me know if you layer like this in the comments, and if you don't, is it something you're going to try? And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you haven't yet done so, be sure to hit that subscribe and notification bell. And also, if you haven't, head over to allanmorrowstudios.com, where there's plenty of tutorials, sound banks, MIDI packs, and production tips. You can sign up to the newsletter there as well to help you with your productions. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.